What if I told you one of Hollywood's most legendary figures wasn't just creating stars, but might be pulling strings behind the scenes in a web of scandals, power plays, and secrets? This story involves P. Diddy, Clive Davis, and a tale so wild it feels like a movie. Trust me, you're going to want to hear every detail of this shocking, bizarre, and totally mind-blowing saga. It's not just a music industry story, it's a peek into how power and influence can shield some of the biggest players from consequences. Are you ready to dive in? Let's start with Clive Davis. Clive is not just a name, he's a giant in the music world. He's the guy behind legends like Whitney Houston, Bruce Springsteen, and even Aerosmith. He's known for taking raw talent and turning it into gold, but Clive's story isn't just about hit records. His life is full of shady deals, tax fraud, and even connections to major scandals. His rise to power wasn't just through talent, it's rumored he mastered the art of manipulating the system. Then there is P. Diddy. He started as a young ambitious guy working for Uptown Records, but when he got fired, Clive Davis swooped in. Together, they built Bad Boy Records, signing artists like the notorious B.I.G. and Faith Evans. It seemed like a dream team, but what if I told you their partnership had a darker side? This dynamic duo, while breaking records, might have been breaking morale and legal boundaries too. Clive Davis's career has been full of controversy. Let's break it down. Clive was caught filing false tax returns, not once, but 3 times, yet he never spent a day in jail. How does that even happen? Experts say this level of avoidance could only be achieved with some serious protection, possibly from high-level connections. In the 1970s, Clive's record label, Columbia Records, got tied up in a massive heroin ring. While others faced charges, Clive walked away untouched. Insiders suggest that Clive's ability to sidestep consequences might have been due to his rumored ties to federal agencies. Payola is when record labels bribe radio stations to play their songs. Clive was involved in the biggest payola scandal of all time. Again, no jail time. Payola was not just a small-time scheme, it involved millions of dollars and influenced the music industry at its core. How does someone dodge the law so many times? Some insiders believe Clive has connections with the government, maybe even working as an informant. Think about it. If you're helping the FBI or other agencies, they might just look the other way when you're breaking the law. Suspicious, right? It's these connections that may explain his ironclad protection. Now, let's talk about Diddy. Everyone knows him as a rap mogul and an entrepreneur, but lately, his past is catching up with him. Diddy's currently facing 8 lawsuits for sexual assault. 2 of these involve minors. The shocking nature of these claims has put a huge spotlight on the way power is wielded in the entertainment industry. Rumor has it, Diddy hosted wild parties, allegedly called the freak-off parties, with celebrities, politicians, and athletes. These freaky parties allegedly included hidden cameras, blackmail, and underage participants. The scale of these parties suggests a deeply disturbing culture behind the glitz and glamour. For allegedly assaults on women to a mysterious shooting at his studio, Diddy's reputation is far from clean. A former bodyguard even alleged that Diddy used intimidation tactics to keep people silent. It's not just Diddy's actions under scrutiny, it's the environment he grew up in. Many believed Clive Davis introduced Diddy to a lifestyle of manipulation, control, and secrecy. Could Clive have been grooming Diddy for this world? Some say yes. Clive Davis and Diddy's relationship isn't just about business. Some say it's part of a larger, darker system in Hollywood and the music industry. Here are some examples. According to Suge Knight, Clive and other execs like Russell Simmons used alcohol and drugs to control artists, including Diddy. Once they were under the influence, these artists were allegedly manipulated for power. These practices weren't just isolated, they point to a deeply deep-rooted culture. Suge claims that artists like Justin Bieber and Usher were introduced to unhealthy lifestyles at a young age. He alleges this was all part of a bigger plan to control them. These accusations paint a chilling picture of exploitation within the industry. Some believe Clive Davis's alleged connection to the FBI helped him stay untouchable. Could it be part of a bigger operation involving blackmail and secrets? These connections hint at a web that stretches far beyond music. This story gets even darker when you look at the people connected to Clive and Diddy. who died under suspicious circumstances. Whitney Houston was found dead in a hotel bathtub just hours before Clive Davis's Grammy party. Instead of cancelling the party, Clive kept it going even though Whitney's body was still in the building. This decision shocked the public and raised countless questions about his priorities. After leaving Clive's label, Left Eye from TLC started working with Suge Knight. She tragically died in a car crash in Honduras. Some believe her death wasn't an accident. Left Eye had been vocal about the pressures and injustices in the industry. Alia, who worked with Clive's associate, Hype Williams, died in a plane crash. Rumors suggest the crash might have been orchestrated. The timing and circumstances of her death continue to fuel speculation. Phyllis Heman, an incredibly talented artist, struggled after leaving Clive's label. She later died by suicide, leaving a note saying she was tired. Phyllis's tragic story highlights the emotional toll of being trapped in an exploitative system. One of the most shocking allegations is about blackmail. Just like Jeffrey Epstein, P. Diddy allegedly used hidden cameras at his parties to gather compromising footage of powerful people. This kind of footage could be used to control politicians, celebs, and even athletes. Just like Epstein, Diddy is said to have targeted the rich and powerful. Hidden cameras, underage victims, and secret recordings were all part of the game. This level of manipulation highlights a disturbing parallel between entertainment and high-stakes blackmail. From A-list celebs to government officials, Diddy's parties allegedly attracted all kinds of influential people. Were they all victims or were some in on the scheme? The truth remains elusive. Here's where things get really wild. Many believe Clive Davis and Diddy's actions are tied to larger government operations. The idea is that figures like Clive could be working with agencies like the FBI or CIA to gather intel on powerful individuals. The US Attorney Damian Williams, overseeing Diddy's case, is the same person who worked on the Jeffrey Epstein trial. Some say is part of the same system protecting powerful elites. Williams' involvement raises serious questions about transparency and justice. Damian Williams received funding from a foundation called the Soros Foundation, linked to Peter Soros, who is connected to Epstein. Coincidence or conspiracy? The connections between these players seem too numerous to ignore. This story shows us the darker side of fame and power. From Clive Davis's shady past to P. Diddy's current legal troubles, it is clear the entertainment industry isn't just about music and movies. It is about control, manipulation, and secrets. This isn't just a scandal, it's a revelation about how power structures protect their own. As more details come out, one thing is certain: the public is waking up to the realities of Hollywood. The question is, will justice ever be served, or will these powerful figures continue to dodge accountability? Only time will tell, but the fight for transparency is more important than ever. What do you think about all this? Are Clive Davis and P. Diddy part of a bigger conspiracy, or is it all just rumors? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into Hollywood's darkest secrets. And trust me, this is just the beginning. There is so much more to uncover. See you next time.